We love having him on. Ben Habib, member of Reform, former MEP. A very good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Good afternoon, Jeremy. How are you?
The voice that launched a million... Where are you, sir? Somewhere nice, probably?
I'm at home. I've just got back home from the office, actually.
Good man. Listen, thanks for being part. So much I want to talk to you about, and I'm going to start with the obvious, which is today the Labour Party has shown its true colours, and this is extraordinary. So Angela Rayner has announced that she's abandoning plans to give British people, in brackets, who have paid their stamp or taxes, close brackets, priority council housing. We're going to allow migrants to get that. And if you thought that wasn't bad enough, I'd love your response to this, because this sent me today quite literally over the edge. If you're a terrorist and you wanted to get social housing, you were going to be banned under Labour's manifesto. That's been reversed as well today. So what we're saying, Ben, is we're going to allow millions of people to come into this country and take away homes or whatever from British people who need them. And that is not racist to make that comment. That is an absolute proven fact.
It is a proven fact. And that, amongst other reasons, is why people from all those deprived communities across the United Kingdom have been protesting against immigration for the last few weeks. It all kicked off, admittedly, perhaps on a trigger in Southport which wasn't accurately described. But the complaint being made by what can only be described as the white working class across these deprived areas is that immigrants are coming to our country, they're taking our jobs, they're taking social housing, they're getting benefits ahead of British people. They're burdening our public sector, and we are being neglected. That is the fundamental protest that's being made. And so tin-eared is Keir Starmer and the Labour government that in the teeth of these protests, they are doing more that is going to unbalance the equation away from British citizens in this country to those who've just arrived, many of whom, remember, have come to this country illegally, get put up in four-star hotels, get given free medical care, cash in their pockets, iPads, translators. You know, the effrontery to the British people is vast. I don't depend, I'm fortunate enough not to depend on the social safety net that the United Kingdom offers. But my goodness, if I did depend on it, and I found that in my hour of need, actually it turned its back on me and was serving other people, I would be bloody livid.
And that's the point, if I can jump in, because completely, and I made this point with Isabel earlier, and I'd love your take on this. What really hacked me off, Ben, when I was off, was those far-right thugs gave Starmer absolutely the green light to crack down, as he should have done, because people shouldn't attack the police. But Absolutely. Isn't it interesting that they cracked down, arrested, put it all out there, sent them to jail, people were crying, but you can stab a British soldier. You can do what you did at Manchester Airport 4 weeks ago. Those two men have still not been charged. I keep going on about Rotherham. I guarantee that if those people in Rotherham that were grooming young white girls had not been British Pakistanis, in my humble opinion, I'm entitled to my opinion before people start jumping up and down, why did it take 7 years? If you're going to suddenly show the police are strong, then they bloody well should be strong on knife crime. Look what happened in Leicester Square today. It should be across the board. It should not be an opportunity for Starmer to say we've got to protect the Muslim community. Yes, we have, but we've also got to protect the whole of society, haven't we?
Absolutely. We've got to protect the whole of society. And Starmer, you mentioned before I came on the programme that the police shouldn't be taking instructions from community leaders, nor should the police or the criminal justice system be taking instructions from Starmer. Starmer getting up, politicising this whole, all of the protests, categorising people as far-right, effectively diminishing the legitimate complaints that they have, and then threatening effectively the British people and saying that we will expedite these legal cases. We will bang you up faster than you can imagine. We're going to give you lengthy, draconian sentences. That's not for the Prime Minister to decide. That is for the criminal justice system to decide. And it seems to me that the criminal justice system has taken its lead from the Prime Minister, saying, fine, Prime Minister, notwithstanding what the law is, we're going to accelerate all these charges. We're going to expedite these cases, and we're going to throw the book at these people, some of whom have been given incredibly long sentences. And, you know, it just doesn't, it sends out all the wrong signals from the Prime Minister. It's an interference in our in our criminal justice
And I have to
system.
make the point for people listening to you and me, we're not condoning in any way what happened. Those thugs are thugs and they should have been dealt with. But there has to be uniformity across the whole system. And when I think of Lee Rigby, when I think before I went on holiday about that soldier up in Yorkshire who was out shopping with his wife and got stabbed by somebody, I don't know who.
Multiple times,
fighting for his life. That guy hasn't been trolled out on television, has he? Why weren't the Rotherham gangs trolled out on television? I absolutely want the police to be strong. Nobody should attack the police. But you know what? I just have a feeling that we're playing that game again, Starmer, is, we mustn't attack certain cultures, but we can ignore others, and that's not balanced.
Do you know what's really interesting to me is that knife crime is up 30–40% over 5 years. Grievous bodily harm, other serious crime, all up by similar percentages. And the police could act if they wish to. We've seen that in the last few weeks. The police can act in a very draconian, zero-tolerance way. And I wish they would react the same way, with zero tolerance to knife crime, zero tolerance to grievous bodily harm, zero tolerance to houses being broken into, cars being stolen, watches being snatched by people on their mopeds as they go past you on the street. Where are the police when it comes to these? These are serious crimes. Being nice is
Ben, I could agree with you no more than I do. I wish we had more time. You know how grateful I am. The amazing Ben Habib, thank you very much indeed. That's the